This is a ELF Game Day Good Morning show on Athletes Forum Podcast.
We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work in.
If you're watching this, what's going on? Good morning, Athletes Forum Podcast. I'm giving you a ELF Game Day version of previews and picks. That's right. We're not going to go through all the games. We're going to go through some games. So there's some great games we got this week. I'm going to talk a little bit about them. You guys give me your thoughts. But we have a great slate of games. Better than last week, to be honest. The three main games we're going to focus on: Panthers, Prague, Battle of the Cats, right? We got Nordic versus the Fire, and then we got Paris versus Vienna. And I think those are some great games that we're going to talk about. Obviously, you got the other ones. You got Munich, Helvetic. You got Berlin, Cologne. What's going on in Berlin? They're getting rid of and releasing imports. At this point of the year, being 5 years deep as an OG franchise, allegedly, for what we're hearing, how do you not have the visa situation figured out? How do you not have the visa situation figured out? What other games we got? We got Munich, not Munich. We got the Surge versus Frankfurt. That may be a quality good game. New quarterback Wang. What's he about? We'll figure it out. Bijan Harris back in the league, right? So there's a lot of good games, as you can see on this slate. But again, I don't want to waste too much of your time. This is a ELF Game Day Good Morning show on Athletes Forum Podcast. So drop a comment and subscribe to the channel. Prague versus Panthers. Panthers, I feel like I've been waiting for this game since they got their asses whooped a couple weeks ago. They probably took Prague for granted. They're not going to do it this time. But how do they bounce back? They haven't beaten a team with a winning record. Panthers are very suspect right now, in my opinion. Prague coming off a bad loss after riding momentum, riding that wave going into Vienna, only to be stumped by the Vienna Vikings, and probably the best team in the league. This is going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be a lot closer. I think Prague still finds a way to pull it out. They're back home at the crib in the Czech Republic. We'll see how everything pans out. I'm interested to see what the Panthers' game plan is. Willie P's not going to surprise them with 5 touchdowns again. DJ Irons, right? David Brzozowski. How can you guys beat a team with a winning record? And that's going to be the question. But for me, rocking with the Prague Lions. Next game could be the game of the week. I feel like we've been waiting for this game ever since the signing and the announcement that not only of the Nordic Storm was coming into the league, but that they would be bringing Jadrian Clark and Glenn Tunga with them. This is a Nordic team that has done very well, haven't lost yet, but still some question marks in regards to, the type of team that they are. Obviously coming off a slow game last week against Hamburg, probably due to a slow start, not playing the week prior versus Helvetic. Obviously that game got canceled. So did Nordic get it back together? Was it just a bad game in the return to Hamburg for Jadrian? We'll see. They're going to get to Ryan Fire that, disappointing season, to be honest. Going for the 3P as there were talks, not quite the team and the season that everyone thought that they would be having. They lose the game to Raiders, definitively, the Raiders put belt to butt against the Fire. So what did the Fire do this week? Again, we know the storyline, right? Jadrian versus old team, Ryan Fire versus the Nordic Storm, right? The most winningest ELF championship franchise versus the new kids on the block up in Copenhagen. This is going to be a banger of a series. I'm rocking with Nordic to pull this off. Jadrian Clark gets the boys back on track, and I'm a fan of that Nordic defense. I'm also a fan of that Fire defense, but again, I think Nordic finds a way to pull it off. But I won't be surprised if the Fire pull it off. This is similar to what I said last week. I won't be surprised if the Raiders beat the Fire. Won't be surprised if Fire pull it off. This is the type of game I could see when they play Vienna the second time, or when they play Paris the first time. The Fire are going to find a way to compete and be better, but I think Nordic pulls this off. And then we go to the game of the week. 2 of the top 3 teams, at least on my power rankings, the Vienna Vikings versus the Paris Musketeers. Paris, man, been on a heater ever since that blowout win against the Fire. This is a new Paris team, a new team to be reckoned with, right? They're back at the crib, right? And here come the Vienna Vikings, right? The last time these two played was in the semifinals last year with Magic Zach. Unfortunately, Paris couldn't get it done. Vienna gets the win, right? But now Vienna, again, taking a road trip to Paris to play Jack Del Rio and that team. This is going to be a defensive battle, right? I think, I said it on First Down Magazine show. Whoever stands out between Yannick Meyer and Anthony Mahungru might have the bigger impact, might be the difference maker in this game. Jalen Henderson versus Ben VP, Florian Beerbaumer, right? Does he continue to go off? I think Paris has the defense to stop a team like the Vikings. Ultimately, I think they split the series. So I'm a coward. I took the easy way out. I think Paris wins at home. I think they lose when they go to play the Vienna Vikings in Vienna. We'll see how this all pans out. But drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Again, ELF Game Day show. Athletes Forum Podcast. Good morning, Europe. Nice to talk to you. Appreciate you tuning in. Continue to subscribe to the channel. Athletes Forum Podcast.